Hello, I am PD Master Corey Russell, and we're going to go over a Tarrasch Defense, and I'll be talking about some ideas of Tarrasch Defense against the Queen's Gambit. In addition, this game illustrates an idea that masters use and a lot of class players haven't quite got, and that is that sometimes in a piece you can capture or pawn, but you can capture at any time, and sometimes you can address other issues first and get back to getting the piece when you have time. In this game, it's highly unusual that I actually waited 12 moves before I finally recaptured that piece. So in any case, let's go ahead and go over the game. I was black, so let's see from my point of view here. I did knight 3, space d5, up a knight, Queen's Gambit, and here I did the Tarrasch Defense. The idea of the Tarrasch Defense is white hopes he can win the d-pawn, and black in their hand hopes he can use the d-pawn to secure outposts in space and hopefully get some advantage in the middle of the game. The other thing too is if black sees that he is going to go to endgame, if he can, he likes to try to trade the d-pawn for one of white's other pawns, and that way, he doesn't have a disadvantage. So those are some of the basic ideas. So white is starting a pawn to take by d takes c5, so I took his pawn first. Notice this is not a threat, right? Because I have bishop take knight check, and then I win his queen. So he can't win a pawn quite yet. So he takes a knight, which is the normal way. And of course, he was threatening bishop take knight, queen take bishop, knight take d5, so I protected my knight here. Right, fianchetto is pretty common, knight c6. I don't want him taking because then it reinforces my d-pawn, so that's okay. And put pressure in the center, which is okay. So here I'm like, why don't you declare? Right? Because you can't do this, because then I win his knight. So you can't do that. But you can't do this, because I win his bishop. So either way, I take the pressure off my knight. Alright, got off my knight. I'll go to castle. And white wants to knight g4. The reason I do a6 is I might want to do bishop d6 or queen d6, but I don't want to be tempoed by the knight, by knight b5. Also, sometimes I do rook e8. I don't want maybe pins on the diagonal. And also, I may need to expand on the queen side. So there are a lot of reasons why I did this. White finding castles. Rook e8 is a really common idea of the Tarrasch. Put some pressure on the e file and maybe use e4 for an outpost. White takes. I think this helps me, so I was happy to see that, actually. So here, I have this move, excuse me. This move is, I played this to discourage knight b6 or knight c5. And white apparently didn't. I was expecting something like this, although we can't actually do this even, because then queen here, and then I win a pawn. So basically, bishop 8 stops knight c5, bishop c5, and knight b6. However, white didn't see my point. This is a very good move, because it sets up rook b7, and then the knight's trapped for good. And of course, I'm not going to let this knight escape. Taking my center, I need to reinforce. Excellent pawns. So my point is, if he takes on a6, queen b8, and I'm going to win his knight, I'm going to win his, I'm going to win his knight with rook a7. Oh, which is what he does, okay. So, of course, now his point is up here. You can do anything. So we don't want to do that. So I need delay for A7 to move and defend my knight first. Now I can take the next move I can do rook A7. Unless he doesn't have a threat, which he has been doing a threat all this time. Frizz, that's how chess stuff works. Is that a strong compensation? I agree. This is a really good move. I want to do it now because he has to back off, and then that means there'll be no more pressure on c6, which means when my knight moves, I won't lose that pawn. So I keep my pawn, which is good. And knight c4 is a good outpost for the knight. Declining his gambit was really good to stop queen e8. I'm still advantage of queen e8, but it's a lot simpler. We don't allow it, so I passing that. I don't really want that pawn sitting on my forehead. It can be real dangerous, so I need to take it. Finally, after 12 moves, I retaken the back my piece. It's a nice threat on g3. Free pawn, sure. Fin f7. And the queen e5 is useful because he was fighting queen g5 check. And notice, of course, he can't go rook e1 because the bishop's on the square. And of course, I want to do knight e3 too. Turning the check, but we don't care. Defend the knight. Check. We're fine with that. Take the bishop, getting bishop paired. Sounds like a plan. Free pawn. Sounds good. So here, ahead of like king f3, we play b4. Now bishop b1 is really, really strong. Because basically, the bishops are supporting the d pawn, and white's going to have a heck of a time trying to stop it. In fact, Fitzgibbon says black is clearly winning. And then here, white realized that he might as well resign because I can just take his pawn. I can play d2 and d1, win the rook for a pawn. I mean, well, I guess he could get a bishop and pawn for rook, but still, I got a piece up. My black bishop pick up his g pawn, and it's all over. So white correctly decided it's time to throw in the towel, and I won. So I hope that game was helpful to you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.